and the temperature is positively tropical after last week's excitement. And it'll be the Castleford Tigers to get us underway. Leeds in this striking white kit, decorated, as Jamie Jones-Buchanan said, with Leeds landmarks. Really is a nice piece of work. But what can they put in on the pitch? That is the question.
It sure is, Bill, and what a game it is to, kick-start your season. Danny Maguire was saying before the game how he used to love playing against Cass. It brings the best out of Cass and out of Leeds, and let's be honest, they expected more last week from this Castleford side when they played Huddersfield, but let's see what they've got today.
The big upset for Castleford Tigers, Danny, is the news that George Lawler is a late withdrawal. He was one of their better ones against Huddersfield last week.
Yeah, he certainly was. He's a fantastic player, he's George. I played with him at Hull KR. Real competitor, real warrior, and he's a massive loss to the Castleford Tigers tonight.
Muzi Mustafa coming straight in. He was to have been the 18th man tonight, but starts now then, as last week. The high ball is a tester early on for the Castleford Tigers, and they are up to the challenge.
Well, Bill, you know what you're going to get from Muzi Mustafa. He's one of 4 ex-Leeds Rhinos players playing against the former team, so he'll be up for it. And I expect a big response from Cass. There's another one in Jack Broadbent.
Yeah, they're looking for their former teammate.
No love lost in this game, Bill. You know that.
Broadbent, once a Leeds Rhino, made 22 appearances in Leeds colours. McShane. Here is Joe Westerman. Need a big game from him to the Castleford Tigers. He's so important. And Miller's tall kick. Myler underneath it. First collect for him. Darrell Alfords. And Leeds set off from their own 20-metre line now.
You know, the back three for Leeds are so important. The likes of McDonald, Alfords, Fussy Tua, they make big meters, which helps the bigger forwards. You see McDonald coming in again. He likes picking the ball up and scooting from dummy half.
Danny McDonald, who got a length of the field try against Wakefield last week in that Rhinos victory, 26-0, 0-0 at half-time. And then Leeds cut loose in the second half. They weren't at their best. They're still not at their best, are they?
Yeah, the first half last week was 0-0 against Wakefield, and then Leeds kicked into gear in the second half. But I think Cam Smith's a real pivotal player for Leeds. He's the cog between the forwards and the backs.
Good take from Jason Gary. He came in for some treatment last week against Huddersfield and stood up to the challenge.
Well, you give him some extra attention, wouldn't you? Because you've seen the speed that he has. Another one with speed here. Eden. Well, the back three linking up.
I think Paul McShane's a huge inclusion in the Castleford Tigers team tonight. He's the leader, he's the player that dictates the speed of play, and I think for Castleford Tigers to play well tonight, Paul McShane needs a huge game. There
is the former man of steel, Paul McShane, who missed the Huddersfield Giants game last week. Jacob Miller. 4 tackles gone, just over the halfway line. Here is Gareth Widdop. Greg Eden. Broadbent puts the brakes on. Brought down, that's the 5th tackle, so Widdop will dink a little kick over the top. Myler comes racing across to gather it and then goes to the ground, and the referee blows for a high tackle.
Well, perfect positioning, wasn't it, from the fullback? It was a good kick from Castleford, playing on the front foot. In that set of 6, they were playing flat and fast over the advantage line. They get this kick away, Gareth Widdop. Look at this, Richie Myler spots it, comes across, a bit of a swinging arm. Was it from Paul McShane? That's what they've been picked up for. That one's okay for Miller, it's that swinging one.
Yeah, I think he's falling there, is Myler, but one of Richie Myler's best qualities is his toughness. I think he's one of the toughest players in the competition. For his size, he carries the ball strong, he gets plenty of collisions, plenty of whacks every week, but he just picks himself up and carries on.
And he certainly got a whack there from Paul McShane, so the penalty allows Leeds up to the halfway line. Now here's Tom Holroyd, his 5th start in a row, which is good news for him, given that he missed all of last season. missed all of last season in Leeds colours, played one game in Bradford colours and got himself sent off and banned for 10 games for a punching incident. So he's got a bit of ground to make up as Tom Holroyd. Here is Blake Austin. Austin, Harry Newman. Newman cantering across the field. Newman with a step. What a great sight that is for Leeds Rhinos supporters to see him back in action. Ball's still alive. McDonald kept it alive. Here is Cameron Smith. Brother Dan in the Castleford Tigers colours this evening. Leeds. Harum scarum in attack there. Not actually advancing much. Holroyd on it. Goes to Caesar. Caesar over the top to Nene McDonald. McDonald is brought down eventually.
That was a great shot by Gary to stop that play then.
Caesar's little kick on the last. Dribbles it through and well picked up by Greg Eaton.
Well, good at the back.
I think Castleford could take some real confidence out of that there, Tez. You know, defending the line. Leeds are at the best when they offload and chance their arm, but Castleford there defensively stood up so they can take some real confidence from that set.
Oh, and Blake Austin has been penalised, and then he said something.
Well, the tackling technique, he's got this like Cumberland throw when he comes in. Seen it a number of times this year. He goes in, he tries to spin the play around. The refs give a penalty for it. I'm not sure whether he's saying because there was contact around the head, that's what the initial penalty. Then there was another 10 metres for obviously back chatting.
Yeah.
So the penalty is a godsend for the Castleford Tigers, gives them territory, eases the pressure and turns the tables maybe. Here is Muzzy Mustafa now. Up to that Leeds 30-metre line. Despite their team's troubles at the start of this campaign, it's a confident Castleford Tigers side on the attack here. Suspicion of a forward pass there. As Mellor was tackled, it was Widdop's pass. Here is Westerman. Here is Nathan Massey. Massey is held. Myler directing operations on his own try line. Jacob Miller. Miller's short ball, and Leeds stopping Adam Milner as he grovelled his way towards the try line. On the burst is Fanua. He manages to offload. It's still alive with Widdop. It's on the last, and that'll be the turnover.
Well, some desperate defence from the Rhinos, but a good fire and a good shot from Casper where they go through the line. People jumping out of line. They've got to make sure, Leeds, that they work together, stay composed, because there's one thing this Cas side can do. Although they might have only scored 2 tries in the last 3 games, they are an attacking side, and in this game, they've got nothing to lose. Yeah,
they've got some fantastic players with ball in hand. I really like what Joe Westerman did in the previous play. He went hard at the line, and Gareth Widdop was out the back there, taking the line on. Miller and Widdop need to run the ball today.
When they click, the Castleford Tigers are an exciting side to watch. They just haven't clicked this season. Really have been very ropey. 3 defeats, 4 defeats in a row so far.
Well, they had a good 40 minutes in round 1 against Hull, but the damage was done in the first half when they conceded 32.
Austin looking maybe for a 40-20. Carry is racing back, but Austin is beaten into it.
Well, you want your big players to come up with big plays, under pressure, defending the line. Then all of a sudden he gets this, there's plenty of space, and he spots the green grass behind Gary and gets a perfect kick away.
Big boot of Blake Austin putting Leeds in a great position here. Here he is once again. Here is Rhys Martin. Just outside that Castleford Tigers 10. Jared O'Connor. Zane Tetevano driving it further forward for Leeds. Just to the left of those posts. The set restart. Rhys Martin somersaulting over the line. Can't get it down. Jared O'Connor wasn't ready for it. And Castleford Tigers celebrate the great escape.
A fantastic tackle there from Gareth Widdop. It was a bit of a mismatch there. Rhys Martin hitting the crash ball close to the line, and Gareth Widdop putting his body on the line with an unbelievable try-saving tackle there, and Martin losing the ball.
Oh, he did well, didn't he? Rhys Martin, Jared O'Connor gets up, fixes a few defenders. Rhys Martin couldn't just quite get rid of Gareth Widdop. And then Jared O'Connor loses possession.
That ball came at him pretty rapidly. I don't think he was quite anticipating that Rhys Martin would be able to get it away from that position. He was virtually standing on his head. So that's a let-off for the Castleford Tigers. And Leeds would have been hoping to capitalise on that Blake Austin 40-20, but instead they're penalised for offside.
Well, a couple of easy penalties now that the Rhinos have given away, and you can see Blake Austin goes too early, doesn't work with the team and the scrum and the referee. There's 2 penalties he's given away in the opening 10 minutes.
Castleford will be grateful for that. Now then, here's another former Leeds player, Alex Mellor. 3 seasons in the colours of the Rhinos. Westerman, Nathan Massey in his testimonial season. His 17th season with the Castleford Tigers. Massey. Westerman once more. Miller. Milner starting this evening in the second row, the one-club man, Adam Milner. About 25 metres away they are as Jacob Miller gives it to Mahe Fanua. 2 there to attend to Fanua, the big centre. Leeds almost back on their own try line. Here is Jacob Miller. Miller, the no-look pass. It's to Massey, who runs straight into the clutches of Cameron Smith. McShane, Miller now. Miller, Widdop puts the brakes on, comes back and finds Miller once more. Miller to Widdop. Widdop on the last with the kick, and it's well gathered. It was Tom Holroyd who got down there well.
Yeah, nice play from the big man, wasn't it, to get down on that ball. I really like the way Tom Holroyd started the year as well. Every time he carries the ball, it's a run to bust. He don't take any prisoners, the youngster.
Both defences from both teams look really sharp today. I think offensively both teams are not up to scratch yet. They're a little bit off the pace, but defensively both teams look very, very sound in the opening 11 minutes.
Yeah, 0-0. Leeds the closest to breaking the deadlock with that Reece Martin effort a moment ago. Here is Zane Tetevano. Cameron Smith now on to Caesar. Caesar floats the pass out to Nanny McDonald. McDonald back to Olferts, and that was just too clever. He's Jason Gary trying to get down the sideline, but he's out of play. But the original knock-on came from Leeds.
Yeah, well, Leeds Rhinos look to shift the ball over to the right-hand side. Been devastating over on that side. Nene McDonald, but he sees the sideline. He sees he's going out. Tries to bring Olferts on the inside. And that play was never on. And Jacob Miller just sizing him up then.
I think it's just a little bit of a change of tactics there, Tez. Leeds have been looking to play the power game through the middle with the forwards. Then they look to move the ball out towards McDonald out there. But again, Castleford defensively are looking really, really sharp on the edges today.
There's a word coaches use at this stage of the season about their attacks, isn't it? Clunky. They're always clunky at this stage of the season.
Definitely. I think give more credit to the defences. They both look really well connected, really well switched on defensively.
Well, here's Beretta for Raimo playing the ball for the Castleford Tigers, who are trying to put a good set together here with the Leeds line in their sights. McShane, short ball finds Massey. The Leeds fans behind those sticks drive forward. McShane. Here is Widdop now. Widdop back to Mellor. Mellor avoids running into his teammates and then takes on Austin and Reece Martin. 4 tackles gone, just a few metres away from that Leeds line. Here is Widdop. Widdop on it comes to Westerman. Westerman to Miller. Miller floats it onto Eden. Eden, a little burst of pace, but he is brought down. That's the 5th tackle. 10 metres away they are. McShane takes him down the short side. Fanua will try and use his strength. It was forwards. Clunk.
Ultimate clunk there, Bill. Yeah, I think they look a little bit nervous, to be honest, to Castleford when they've got the ball in hand. But they've got some really skillful, talented players that need to take control in this area. We're looking at Miller, we're looking at Widdop, we've got Paul McShane, who's one of the best 9s in the competition. They really need to grab hold of Castleford's attack.
Move up and square! Shooter out. Go back. Tackle one.
Referee
go back.
telling Darrell Olferts to retreat and play that ball nearer his own 10-metre line. Is David Fusitua, ever present in all 4 games, Fusitua, which is good news for Leeds because he's had a very stop-start career since joining the Rhinos. From the New Zealand Warriors international. Cameron Smith.
4, move!
Up towards the halfway line come Leeds, coming up to the 15-minute mark. 5th tackle, and here is Blake Austin. Austin with a little dummy, but runs into Westerman, and Westerman, that's the 5th. Westerman pins Austin to the ground. Now Caesar launches the kick. Greg Eden is underneath it. Eden at full-back tonight. He's been on the wing for the last couple of games.
He's dangerous at the back though, isn't he, in that broken play. Proven opportunist in Super League.
Andy Elias looking to get the best out of Greg Eden this evening. Here's Mahe Fanua. Strong run up the middle from the Castleford Tigers centre. Here's Westerman.
Well, it is end-to-end this game. Both teams are making plenty of metres, aren't they?
Massey.
5, move here. Go 5.
McShane Miller stretches for the ball, gets a high kick away. Olferts is underneath this one, nobody wanting it. Picked up by Jason Gary. Gary is going to come back to Jacob Miller. Miller bobs the ball over the top. Gary with a little kick ahead, picks it up, and Olferts takes him high. And it is a penalty.
Well, you're terrified whenever he gets this. You know, Nenny MacDonald, he makes a play for it. Gary is quick to react to it. And whenever you see this youngster around the ball, you do get nervous as you're a defender.
Gary's one of them players that I think gets you on the end of your seat when you're watching the game, because he's got speed, he's got that little bit of unpredictability about him that you're not sure what he's going to do. And I think if Castleford are going to be victorious tonight, they probably need to try and move the ball out towards Fanua and Gary on that edge.
Well, they've tapped the penalty and they're attacking this Leeds line, and it's Nathan Massey with the drive. Myler stopping his progress. Jared O'Connor in there as well. McShane is Westerman. Westerman only comes to Widdop. Eden's pass, and they're in on the other side with Beretta for Rimo. First try of the night. The penalty for the high tackle on the other flank on Jason Gary. The ball shipped across the field, and there is Beretta for Rimo to get his 3rd try of the season. He's been in great form. On a personal note, has Beretta Faraimo got 5 tries in the Tigers pre-season games, and he's got his 3rd try of the season this evening.
Well, Gary, he can be credited here. He sees some space, he kicks it, he gets a high shot from Olferts, and the right decision was to keep running. They need to score some points, and they look to shift it. Joe Westerman again doing a decent number. Aidan Caesar, I think it is, that jams in, and the space out wide. And Beretta Faraimo, he is one of those wingers that you can rely on him. Widdop at the line, Eden out wide, and he just beats Fussy to it, gets in, scores the opening points for Cass. What we talked about before, the playmakers that they've got some skill, haven't they, Danny?
Yeah, I love that, and I think it's Westerman linking with Widdop, McShane getting out of dummy half, and that's what Castleford need to do. And obviously the Fussy to losing Faraimo, they're losing his man, and Faraimo, as we all know, is an outstanding winger. He's got plenty of tries for Hull FC, finishing it in the corner.
Gareth Widdop, 7 goals to his name so far this season. This one difficult from the sideline and just drifting across the face of the posts, but the Castleford Tigers drawing first blood. Beretta Faraimo's try.
Say Westerman, we know Joe Westerman's a key player for Castleford Tigers, and the more times he can touch the ball, the more involvement he has, the more dangerous Castleford will be offensively. And a great finish there for Faraimo in the corner to give Cass the lead.
He got 2 tries in round 1 at Hull, did Beretta Faraimo. In that round 1 defeat. So Castleford Tigers take the lead, just as they did at Huddersfield last week, and then the roof fell in on them. It was George Lawler with the try. Lawler not on the field tonight.
Well, I think that was after 8 minutes, wasn't it? And like you said, that was it then from them. And if you want to know what this game means to Castleford, I went back to 2014, look how many fixtures they played out. 25 fixtures. The Rhinos have only won 10 games. This is a game that Cass genuinely look forward to.
Here is Nathan Massey. And that's the 5th tackle. Having a decent share of possession at the moment, the Castleford Tigers, as Miller launches the kick. Myler is underneath it. Good chase after the kick, led by Mahe Fanua.
What I'm liking from Caspel is the discipline. They're not overplaying. They're happy to finish in corners, and they're actually building the game, and they're winning the field position and the territory battle. But obviously we've a relieving penalty there now, which is not going to do many favours.
Put the mockers on him, Danny.
Sorry.
And that has been the trouble with Cass. You look back over the 4 games, they've had too many errors, penalties, they don't build enough pressure, they can't sustain pressure. And Andy last even said after last week, look, we need to fix up our effort areas as well, and they've certainly got the right attitude here in the opening 20 minutes.
Here is Harry Newman, back from his hamstring troubles, making his first start of the season, which is good news for Leeds. Still want to get Mikolaj Aledski back out there, of course. Leeds looking to strike back now. Jared O'Connor. Here is Aidan Caesar. Tom Holroyd doing a solid job in the absence of Aledski.
Release in 3 on that mark. You're thrashing, goal 3.
Second, 3 tackles gone. Caesar. McDonnell. Wrestling his way up towards that Castleford 10. Here is Myler. McDonnell, though, is driven back. Good defence by a pack of Tigers there. Sending McDonnell back towards his own try line. Caesar. Cameron Smith. Blake Austin. Oh, Newman. Oh, Ferrimo. Whoa, Ferrimo celebrates the tackle.
Well, you celebrate your defence like you celebrate your attack. And that's a big play from the winger. He saw Harry Newman about to get the ball. Leeds looked to shift the ball from one side of the field to the other. I think he was on the last play as well. So they looked to run it. And that's what you call shutting a play down. If you pull the trigger out wide, you've got to make sure that you get it right. And he certainly got it right on that occasion.
I think Andy last talking about effort areas, and defence is all about effort and attitude, and I think Castleford have turned up with an abundance of defensive effort today. They're really defending the line, they've got some steel about them, and obviously Ferrimo there with an outstanding shot on Harry Newman.
Well, it's Leeds. You'd expect him to turn up with an abundance of everything for this one, because it is the one of the ones in the season that really counts, which shouldn't be the case, but it is. It is.
There's some fixtures of play you look forward to more than others, and this is one of them for Cass.
Here's another wrecking ball. Mahe Fanua.
Go for.
Miller now. Milner. Leeds just on the back foot a little bit. That's the 5th tackle, but Milner's slow to get to his feet and didn't like something that went on in the tackle there. He's looking daggers at Zane Tetevano, and he's, after that ball's gone, he's just had a word. Meanwhile, Alforts collects that ball comfortably.
Yeah, well, good take in the corner, wasn't it, from Alforts, under some pressure. You know, the more that this game's going on and the scoreboard's like it is, I know it's only 4 points, but Cass are just lifting and lifting. Joe Westerman pulled away from that tackle with a bit of a problem. Adam Milner was looking for a penalty, which his job really in that area has got to get up and play it as quick as he can.
They really are fired up at the Castleford Tigers. Alforts, nowhere for him to go there. Jared O'Connor. Here is Fusitua trying to make some yards up to the 40-metre line. That's the 5th tackle.
That's a good set defensively from Cass.
Austin, though, that's a good kick. That is a mighty kick. Edie's under it and made that look so easy.
I think Castleford are definitely winning the territory battle. They're playing really patient. They're happy to kick the ball into corners, and I think that's frustrating Leeds a little bit.
Good return from Beretta Ferrimo there. Now here's Jason Gary. Greg Eden. Watts is on.
Get square. Hold. You're flashing Liam. Go first.
Playing the ball, Liam Watts. Westerman. Massey. They've got some seasoned campaigners in the Castleford Tigers side.
Go for.
who know what this fixture is all about. Westerman is one of them.
There we go, see Joe Westerman carrying the ball to the line. I think he's really dangerous when he mixes up his passing with his running game.
Wid up, Eden, oh, Ferraimo's put it down with a line at his mercy. Lovely slick hands from the Castleford Tigers, but the hands at the end just let him down.
Well, Bill, I said before when he scored the first try, he's a player that you can rely on. Not on that occasion. The ball was on from young Jack Broadbent, wasn't it? It was there, the line was in front of him. He catches it, again, good play. Catches it, that's a try.
That's an outstanding piece of skill from Broadbent there to get the ball away to Ferraimo, and he walks in untouched if he takes it.
Hold, it's a surrender.
Oh.
Go one.
Would want to be a coach.
Even an interim coach.
Well, Bentley's on the field now.
Move. Hold.
To add his experience and more punch.
Yep.
You said before about this Cas side, about how they're an aging side. Well, out of the 17, 13 of them are over 30 or over, so there's going to be some big rebuilding going on at this Cas club.
Caesar riding the challenge as well there. And could the Castleford Tigers rue that missed opportunity? They go to, because Myler's going to score. Myler's going to score for Leeds. Oh, Castleford blow a chance. Leeds take theirs. And Richie Myler, on his 24th consecutive appearance for the club, gets Leeds level with his first of the season. Castleford kicking themselves. Leeds celebrating.
What an unbelievable try there from the Rhinos. Aidan Caesar skipping back across field there. Bounces out of a couple of tackles, and this is what I think Leeds need to do a little bit more. Go nice and direct, finding an offload. Cam Smith, who we spoke about being the link from the forwards to the backs there, and as all good half-backs and full-backs should do, supporting down the middle there. And we spoke about Castleford's defence being really good, really strong in this first 25 minutes, but there, an outstanding piece of play for the Rhinos, and Myler goes in under the post.
Richie Myler, who represented Ireland throughout last year's World Cup, gets the try. Reece Martin converts, and Leeds goes 6-4 up.
Well, what the Rhinos have got, they've got a decent fullback who's always supporting, but they've also got two halfbacks that are willing to run. Jared O'Connor comes out, gets the markers interested. Aidan Caesar rides a couple of tackles, and then Cameron Smith punches through and gets a decent offload away, and just bursting onto that ball was Blair Costin, supported by the fullback Richie Myler. Well, he is a player that's dependable at the back, and up the other end of the field he supports everything.
Zane Tetevano. He and Adam Milner having a bit of a duel, I think. Darrell Alfords.
Got two, better Darrell.
McDonald, good footwork from the former Wigan man.
I believe this is a really important period for Castleford, for Bill now. I think what we've seen in the early part of the season is Castleford started games well, scored the first try, but then sort of collapsed. I think this next 10, 12 minutes is going to be really crucial for Castleford in this game.
And Leeds may be sensing that.
Here, Alex.
It's the fifth tackle on Austin, just inside Tiger territory. Caesar launches the kick. Eden, with Newman making the follow-up tackle for Leeds.
Good chase, wasn't it, from Newman when he got on the field last week, 25 minutes to go. That was the biggest chase of the night, his first tackle. Following up.
Here's Greg Eden now. Eden all juggling the ball, but still managing to get away from the first two, but then the pass. Ricochet off a Leeds hand.
Yeah, you're right. There's a hand in there as they were trying to affect the tackle.
Oh! Release him, one. Go one.
Up to the 40-metre line. And that's a good run from Sui Matangi. And on the back of it, McShane motoring. McShane away from the first challenge. Bentley let him slip.
That's what I've been waiting for all game, Bill, is for Paul McShane to put himself in this game, run from dummy half, take somebody with him. It's the first time we've seen it.
Oh, Milner went without the ball.
There's a late hit. There's a late shot. I think it's James Bentley that's been pulled out for it.
Was it on Miller?
Aaron Moore. Look.
Aidan Caesar protesting. He knows a thing or two about a late hit. He's been on the receiving end himself.
Ball's already gone.
I think it's really hard sometimes with the late hits. Back rowers, you encourage back rowers to go and put pressure on half-backs and take time away from the key players in the opposition there. And, you know, has Bentley caught Miller a little bit late? Probably.
He gets caught in two minds, doesn't he? He's got Miller, he's got someone dropping under, sticks both arms out, thinks, well, I'll get one of them right. And they'll take 2 points here. The game's like 30 minutes have gone, they're 2 points behind, they're still in this game. Like you said last week, Bill, when they played against Huddersfield, scored first, then fell apart. They just need to be in this game for longer periods.
And this is the first port. It's been, what, half an hour. It's just whistled by. It's been virtually non-stop.
I think it's been a gripping 30 minutes. I think it's been a bit of a war of attrition. Both teams sort of working each other out and not playing the full hand, but we'd have probably tying the game up.
That he does. 6 points apiece then. Widdop with his 8th successful goal of the evening. Mal Reilly up in the stands, the legend, and a public figure, a very popular figure here at the Castleford Tigers. I wonder what he's making of this contest.
What a player, what a coach. He coached Leeds as well, didn't he? You know, what a man, Great Britain coach. And remember, used to hear the stories about what he was like in the gym and in the training when the Great Britain players who were fit as anything, he'd be out there and he'd be competing against them. He wouldn't be beaten by anybody.
He coached us in his 60s, Tez, at Leeds, and he'd be always the first on the rowing machine. 10k rows on a morning were nothing for Mal, an unbelievable person and player as well. Short kick-off.
Back off Castleford.
And have they gifted it to Leeds? They have. Leeds have come up with it.
Well, he made it known at the beginning of the year, didn't he, Rowan Smith, that look, we've been practicing this, we're going to go for it. Every now and again they'll do it in a game. And it's a kick that you could compete for.
Well, Cass got to the ball first, but they didn't handle it after that. Mellor it was who batted it back.
Well, you can see the white shirts just waiting behind because they knew exactly what Mellor was going to do.
And it's put Leeds in a great position. Jared O'Connor, here is Blake Austin, Reece Martin. Can't make much progress for the Rhinos. About 12 metres away from that Castleford Tigers line. Justin Sangare, the French international, is on the pitch and into the action, and the Castleford Tigers are penalised for offside.
Well, as soon as Sangare comes on, he's a big, powerful man who carries the ball. He's off his line, Matangi, because he knows he's got to be off his line to stop him and stop that momentum.
Here is Reece Martin.
Release him! One back foot.
Eventually brought down.
Got one play on.
Watt's slowing things down. Jared O'Connor. Caesar takes the pass low down.
Line two. Line.
O'Connor.
Go two.
Myler. Here is Cam Smith now. Cameron Smith just losing his footing.
Stand up.
Mellor with the tackle.
Three. Stand up, Cameron.
And Tangy is there as well.
Go three.
O'Connor back in field to Sangare, celebrating the birth of his daughter last weekend.
Go four.
Here is Jared O'Connor. O'Connor, Caesar,
So four.
McDonald still using his strength and still going. Eventually he stopped.
Go five.
Jared O'Connor gets the ball out quickly from Caesar, and that's Darrell Alforts. Alforts gets the boos of his former supporters. And that was on the last, that's the turnover. Alfords couldn't make anything of it, to the delight of the Castleford fans.
Yeah, really big defensive set there from Castleford, under pressure, and they came up trumps. We spoke about this last sort of 10 minutes before half-time being crucial. They've showed some real commitment and determination to keep Leeds away from the line there.
Big improvement on last week's performance from the Castleford Tigers.
That's good line speed from Cass, and he's knocked the ball on. I think it's Jared O'Connor who gets off the line. He sees Maher for Uber. You said before, Bill, how powerful he is when he carries the ball. He wants to scatter people. Jared O'Connor gets up. There's a bit of attention from him, and he's got to play the ball correctly, says the referee.
O'Connor was right in his face.
Heads in with another here. Heads in, fellas. Head in, Nanny.
So the error, after they've done that good work in defence, Castleford Tigers, they've now put themselves under pressure here.
And that seems to be the tale of Castleford's season. Every time they give themselves a chance, they let it go with a poor decision.
One thing that he's got a massive step, hasn't he, Blake Austin?
Just wait for me, Jared.
They don't go for the 2 points again. I think they're going to run it here.
Back foot.
Liam Watts penalised for the high shot on Blake Austin. Here is Sangare. Has made an instant impact since his move from Toulouse, has Sangare.
Go one.
O'Connor. Caesar. Here is Nene McDonald. McDonald, though, stopped in his tracks by more good Castleford Tigers defence. Here's Caesar. Cameron Smith now. Smith. Watts standing his ground.
Hold back. Hold, play it. Go third.
Blake Austin.
Move, go line for.
Austin is tackled. That's 4 tackles gone. Can Castleford survive this time? Newman trying to smuggle that ball out. He can't. 5th tackle. Will Austin hoist the kick across field? He will. Oh, Carry has almost lost it. He just managed to salvage the situation under pressure there.
Yeah, he got peppered last week as well, the youngster, Jason Carrigari, when he played against Huddersfield. He just loses it, then he knocks it dead. They get away with it.
Let's go down to the sidelines, because the Castleford Tigers coach, Andy Last, has very kindly joined us. Andy, this is a big improvement on last week.
Yeah, massive improvement. Really proud of the boys' first 40 minutes. We've defended really well. There's been good energy between, with us, and we just need to see it out till half-time.
But you just like then, you're your own worst enemy at times.
Yeah, we are. Defensively, you know, I think we need a little bit more intent and a little bit more detail in our peel-out. But we're defending with energy and we keep turning up for each other. Leeds obviously really giving our middles a fair test. But I think that's credit to our D that, you know, they've taken the 2 points.
Andy, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
I'm with Barry, mate. I'd give him the job straight away. I wouldn't just say, look, you got it on a caretaker basis. I'd be, you're the man, you build it. Like I said before, they've got an old squad. Someone's got to put a team together instead of waiting till the end of the season or a couple more weeks, months, whatever that may be.
Thanks, Chris.
Meanwhile, the short restarts from the Castleford Tigers didn't go 10, and Reece Martin duly pops over the penalty, and Leeds 8-6 ahead, half-time approaching.
I'd like to see a little bit more connection between Caesar and Austin, Bill. I think Leeds look a bit one-paced in attack, and we're talking about Castleford being really good defensively, but I think Leeds haven't really clicked yet. I don't think they look connected in the key players in the middle, so we're going to need to see an improvement from Leeds offensively.
Here is Sangare. The Leeds supporters have taken a shine to him. His commitment early on.
Well, he's got one job. He's got to get the ball. He's got to run as hard as he can, and that's what they're liking, because that's what he does.
Surrender! Stand 2, don't thrust this time.
Alford's playing the ball. Here is Austin. Here is Myler. Newman cutting infield. Eventually stopped, but then manages to offload to Jared O'Connor. Nice footwork from O'Connor. Nice pace from O'Connor. Myler was on his shoulder, but he couldn't get the ball away. And then the referee whistles.
Stop play. I have to stop.
There's a couple of players on the field over the other side, Bill. As soon as the doctor comes on the field, Aaron Moore's called it to the players saying, look, as soon as the doctor in the red shirt comes on, players got to stop.
I'm just doing my job. Yeah. We've stopped it for Fanu.
Well, Sangare, it's a boot problem.
Yeah.
But,
it's not for Sangare, it's for the October.
Fanua's back on his feet.
Looks like he's going off the field as well, mate.
Is he going off? Going off.
Well, that's it. Like I said, he's got one job: run as hard as you can. He's picked out Maher Fanua. Maher Fanua was fronted up, got his body in front, and come off second best.
Wait, Jared. Gareth, make sure you're square. Boys, I need an extra step here, Adam. I need an extra step.
Castleford Tigers
I need a step.
catch their breath because they were on the back foot then. Leeds were rolling forward. They resume with James Bentley, who manages to offload to Cam Smith. Big brother Daniel Smith in the tackle there.
I think we've seen any time Leeds have got any second phase, that's when they look the most dangerous.
Sangare. Watts clinging on to an ankle down low. Widdop. Kenny Edwards up top. Is Blake Austin. Austin changes direction to Cameron Smith. And Cameron Smith slips away. Oh, Bentley couldn't take the ball. And here is Greg Eden looking to counter. It's a first half of missed opportunities.
Yeah. Well, they blew a couple of chances, haven't they? In front of the line, nobody there. Cast down the other end as well from the tip on from Jack Broadbent. To Beretta Faraimo. Well, good play, wasn't it, from Cam Smith? Offloads the ball. Bentley's there. Just goes over his head, though.
Well, they both could have had another couple of tries. Here is Dan Smith, manages to offload the ball to Widdop. Austin wrestles him to the ground. Bentley makes sure he stays there. Here's McShane. Miller now. Final seconds of the first half. Kenny Edwards didn't do himself justice in the defeat at Huddersfield last time out. Kenny Edwards looking for an improvement from him tonight of the Castleford Tigers. On the last, Miller, Widdop, little kick, and Faraimo flings the ball back in field, and it's Newman who has it now, and Newman will counter until he's stopped by Dan Smith. That look forwards. That's the final act of the first half. That little passage you played just about sums it up, really. It was Faraimo almost in there. He wasn't in there. Leeds end on the attack. And Rowan Smith waits for his players to reach the dressing room to just digest what has gone on in the first half. But it's ended with Leeds just ahead by 8 points to 6.
Rowan did warn anyone that would listen, and he warned his players, expect the very best from the Castleford Tigers, and I think we have seen the best of the Tigers in 2023 so far. They head off the field, 6 points apiece against the Leeds Rhinos.